So you're thinking about grad school in Sweden? Awesome choice. It's an incredible place for research and innovation. But you gotta know, their system is, well, it's a little different. The two main paths, a master's and a PhD, are like two completely different worlds. So let's break it all down.
This is really the big question you need to ask yourself right from the start. Are you looking to enroll in a traditional program where you pay tuition, or are you looking for a full-time salaried research job? Because in Sweden, that's the choice. These aren't just different ways to pay, they are totally different ways to approach your entire education and your career.
Okay, let's really get into this, because this is the core of it. On one side, you've got the master's degree. For students from outside the EU, it works pretty much how you'd expect. You pay tuition for your program. But then on the other side, you have the PhD, and this is the real game changer. A PhD in Sweden isn't just a program you attend. Nope, it's a job. A full-time, salaried position at a university with all the benefits that come with it.
All right, so let's walk down path number one, the master's journey. If this is the route you're thinking about, you absolutely need to know how the application system works and what your funding options are, because they're very specific.
You know, the best part about applying for a master's in Sweden is just how simple and organized it is. You don't have to send separate applications to a bunch of different universities. Everything, and I mean everything, goes through one single national website, universityadmissions.se. You find your programs there, you submit all your documents there, you pay one fee, and you get all your acceptance letters in one place. It's super efficient.
Now, the first cost you're going to run into is that application fee. It's about 900 Swedish kroner. But here's the key. That's a one-time fee for the entire application season. So whether you apply to one program or you apply to 8 programs, you pay that same fee just once. It actually makes it really cost-effective to apply to several places. Okay, for a lot of international students, this right here is the golden ticket. The Swedish Institute Scholarship, everyone just calls it the SI Scholarship, is the government's big, prestigious program. And it's not just about giving you money. Their goal is to find and invest in people they believe will be future global leaders, specifically from a list of partner countries.
And when I say it's a great deal, I mean it's a great deal. Check this out. It covers your entire tuition fee. On top of that, you get a monthly stipend of 12,000 Swedish krona to live on. They give you a travel grant to help you get there. And you become part of this exclusive professional network. It's literally the whole package. Now here's the catch. This is really, really important. This scholarship is not for students who just finished their bachelor's degree. It's specifically designed for professionals. You have to have significant, documented work experience, usually around 3,000 hours, plus some leadership experience, just to be in the running. Okay, listen up, because this is where people trip up. Applying to your master's program and applying for the SI scholarship are two totally separate things with two different deadlines. You have to apply for your university programs first, usually by mid-January. Then you submit a completely separate application for the scholarship by late February. If you miss one of those deadlines, you're out. Simple as that.
All right, let's completely switch gears and talk about path number 2. If you're thinking about a PhD, you need to change your entire mindset. You're not applying to be a student anymore, you're applying for a job. This quote really says it all. You're not enrolling in a PhD program. You're applying for a vacant doctoral position. That's a huge mental shift. You are being hired by the university to conduct research, and with that comes a salary, responsibilities, and benefits. And yeah, it's a real job with a real salary. We're not talking about a small stipend here. A typical PhD candidate earns between 30 and 35,000 Swedish kroner a month before taxes. That's a solid, livable income, which is a massive advantage compared to PhD programs pretty much anywhere else in the world. And since you're an employee, you get all the amazing Swedish social benefits. First off, your PhD is completely tuition-free for everyone. You get paid sick leave, the university pays into your retirement pension fund, you get incredibly generous paid parental leave, and yeah, part of your job might include teaching or other department work, but that's all part of the position.
So how do you find one of these positions? Well, unlike the master's programs, there's no central website. You actually have to go on a hunt. You have to check the jobs or vacancies section of each individual university's website, just like you would for any other professional job opening. Now, because these positions are so incredible, fully paid, great salary, amazing benefits, the competition is, to put it mildly, fierce.
It is completely normal for a single open PhD position to get 75, 100, or even more highly qualified applicants from all over the globe. It's tough. So, what do you actually need to even get your foot in the door for either of these paths? Let's do a quick run through of the basic academic stuff you'll need just to be considered. So the bottom line is, for a PhD, you pretty much always need to have a master's degree already, or the equivalent amount of coursework. And for both master's and PhD programs, since they're almost all taught in English for international students, you'll have to prove you can handle it with a test like the IELTS or TOEFL. Getting that acceptance email is an amazing, amazing feeling, but your work is not done. In fact, two of the biggest hurdles are just about to start: immigration and finding a place to live. First up, the residence permit. The moment you get accepted, you need to apply to the Swedish migration agency, which is called Migrationsverket. And I'm going to be real with you, you need to be prepared for long, slow, and often frustrating processing times. These delays are notorious, so apply immediately and make sure your financial documents are absolutely perfect. And second, and this one is a huge deal, is the national housing shortage in Sweden. Finding an affordable place to live, especially in big university cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, or Lund, is incredibly difficult. You absolutely cannot wait until you arrive to start looking. You have to start your search the second you think you might apply. Okay, so knowing all these challenges and all these opportunities, how do you actually succeed? Let's boil it all down into a simple, actionable game plan. Here it is, your 3-step strategy. 1. Tailor every single application. No generic CVs, customize it for the specific research project you're applying for. 2. Get your finances sorted out early. You need to prove you can support yourself for the residence permit, so get those bank statements ready. And 3, research housing now. I'm not kidding. Start today. Get on every waiting list you can find. The earlier you start, the better. Look, the Swedish system gives you two incredible but very different opportunities. One is a top-tier master's degree, possibly fully funded, for ambitious professionals. The other is a stable, well-paid career as a researcher from day one. Both are tough, both are competitive, and both take a lot of planning. So the only question left is, which path is the right one for you?